Hey guys, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Forgot to unmute myself for a moment. Sorry about the stream crashing. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but it did crash, and now we're back. But it happened just as we were going to break, so everything's beautiful. Did I miss anything? Are we good?
Um, I think we're good. Maybe.
Maybe. All
Are
right.
we?
We're solid. The
We made
stream.
we made it through the intro.
We made it through the intro. We dropped a few frames, but other than that, we're pretty solid. Our bitrate is solid, and hopefully our ISP will still be around because today's my last day with this ISP. Because of this exact reason, because they drop out when I'm in the middle of a show. Fuck you guys. Anyway, Seabreeze, bathed, cleaned, clothes washed. Next morning,
Sure. Yeah. All right. You go to bed.
I go to bed.
Uneventful.
Next morning, I head over to yonder pier, where the ship is
Yep.
moored.
That's the
I'm
direction they should have given. Chat was teasing me for describing this twisted medieval city in terms of city blocks, which it by no means has.
yeah.
It was just a shorthand for not wanting to actually make up directions.
It's over there, guys. It's just
Yes, yonder pier.
yonder
That was,
pier.
that was our old shorthand for. All right, you can get there.
It's
Yonder
beyond
forest,
yonder hill, yonder
yonder mountain.
I use yonder all the time. Well, not all the time, but sparingly as an homage to those good old days.
Yep. All right. So
Um,
you go to yonder pier.
and I
What
meet up with
time?
Mancy at
Nancy.
sunrise.
Nancy the fisherman. Okay,
Nancy.
you get up at sunrise.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yep. All right. So you find him already there, getting his little skiff ready.
Sorry I'm
Small
late,
boat,
Mr.
single
Mancy.
sail.
We elves take a little while in the morning to get going.
No, that's fine. I'm just about ready.
Excellent.
Hop
So
on board.
I think I'd like to start with a tour of the castle in the bay. Of course, let's not mess with the Armada, but I'd love to see some of the architecture. Then maybe a view of the city, and maybe we could end with another tour of the castle. I'm a big fan of
You're the
architecture.
captain.
I am. Well then, from now on, you should refer to me as captain. And get the let out, boys. Let's go.
Okay. He rows the little skiff a little ways out,
Hmm.
then unfurls the sail and catches a breeze,
Okay.
and sort of takes you out and sort of towards the castle.
All right.
There's a few other ships sort of getting ready to move. You do see a few large, which you presume to be warships, with
Mhm.
the sigil of Seagate, sort of anchored, surrounding the rock itself.
Shit.
Um,
Do thieves only get a non-weapon proficiency every 4 levels?
yeah, you just got one, I think.
I picked up mountaineering last time because it gives me a climbing bonus. But damn it, do I really have to? I should have gotten swimming. What was I
Yeah.
thinking? Swimming is such a useful skill. I should always have it. How often do thieves get? Is it every 4? Is it every 3? Rogue, every 4. That means 3 more levels until my next non-weapon proficiency. All right, I'm not swimming for this
Yeah.
for this mission.
Slay a couple dragons before you can learn how to swim. Roll a perception check.
RD20 plus 9, 21, just barely.
You see a small, or not a small, a small rowboat heading from the island to shore, rowed by a single brown-robed figure.
I glare at the brown-robed figure as we pass it.
It's sort of way off in the distance.
I glare at it deeply, and I point to it and say, "Is that one of them mongrel men?"
Yeah.
Vicious little bitches. Saw one of them drop a dead woman off into the bay yesterday.
Did you now?
I did.
Typically, they keep to themselves, know their place. That's
No.
probably one. That one probably serves the Lord. My guess is he's moving some trash or waste from the castle to dump down on the dockside where us poor folk live.
Where does he take the waste
'Cause
from?
we don't mind the smell of shit.
Well, where does he take the waste from? The castle?
He shrugs. I mean, it sort of ignores it as if it wasn't an interesting question.
I say it again. Where does he take the waste from? The castle?
Oh, probably. He takes another look at the boat. Looks like where he's coming from.
I can't believe
Okay.
the Lord would trust him in his castle like that. Hideous little wretches.
Shrugs again. Like I said, they tend to know their place. So
Yeah.
he takes the skiff out. He gives the island a wide breadth. So keeps about a quarter mile from it,
Okay.
far outside the perimeter of the warships. You get a good view of the city itself.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like most of the city. I mean, there's some sort of rough cliffs off to the south, but most of the main city is actually lined with like a cement quay. So ships pretty much cover most of the shore. The inner city is sort of on a raised hill. Yeah.
Okay.
The,
While we
the
take
fog is just starting to sort of blow in to cover the city.
while we're
So
taking
you're-
this tour, I kind of want to keep an eye on the Mongrelman if I can. See where the
Mhm.
ship goes, where his boat goes to dump his waste. Does he go to the shore? Does he dump it out in the
So
middle of
he's
the water?
sort of cutting south towards the lower city, the outer city.
So was he
and you
coming
lose-
from this city or the castle on the island, or was he coming from the castle in the inner city?
So you trajectory was something like that,
Okay. Cool. I make
and then you lose sight of him behind some ships.
I try and make a note of where I think he might be landing on the shore.
You really have no idea. So you sort of lose sight of him as he pulls in where the ships are moored.
Okay. All right. I will now take. Yeah, I'd like to tour the outskirts of the castle and the bay.
Yeah, so you sort of circle around it. It's a large rocky island, maybe 1,000 feet in all dimensions, and bigger than that.
Can we sail
thousand feet.
underneath the bridge?
You ask him.
Yes.
He says no, nope.
Off limits.
He nods.
That's a shame. Would have always loved to see that architecture. You know, my elven eyes are quite good at night. Is there any chance that we could maybe do a quick sail by under the bridge at night? Or is that too risky?
That's off limits, good sir.
Okay, yeah. We elves build our cities out of trees, and we shape the very bones of the earth itself. To see rocks taken from their positions and built into bridges is a thing of wonder for me. I would love to see how it's done. Guess maybe the dwarves had something going for them after all. I mutter, and
So he circles you around the rock. Yeah, so shores are kind of rocky. You're having a hard time even seeing where how a ship would get access to it.
mhm.
You could probably pull a rowboat up the rocks, but
Okay.
roll a perception check.
28.
Okay. You do catch sight of a sally port on the north side, somewhere around there. So it's sort of a small door built into the side of the castle
Okay.
at ground level.
I make note of it.
Okay. And so he takes you around, keeping a little more breath than that, around, and then he makes to start turning around.
Okay.
Do you make any?
No, that sounds perfect.
So there. Um, so it looks like there's a few. There's another key up there, and another one directly under the bridge that you
By
spot from this north
key?
vantage.
What do you mean by key?
It is like a it's like a stone. I don't know, like a I don't, sort of yeah, like a cement shore. I don't know, like a man-made structure that butts up against the ocean so that you can pull ships directly up to the land.
Okay.
Basic docks, sure,
Dock.
whatever you want to call it. Yeah, but it's not. They're not wood. It's like a cement.
Okay. I've just
Yeah.
never heard of key before.
Quay.
Q-U... Oh, K.
Key. I think it's pronounced key.
Key.
Yes, it is pronounced key. I guess I've been pronouncing it wrong my entire life.
What'd you call it?
Also
Quay?
known as a wharf.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a structure on the shore of a harbor or on the bank of a river or canal where a ship may dock to load and unload cargo or passengers. Such a structure includes one or more berths, mooring locations. It may also include piers, warehouses, other facilities necessary for handling ships. Okay, cool. I understand what you mean now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you circle the island and head back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, all right. Most of the warships they look like they're just anchored where they are. You do see one coming in from deep ocean,
Okay.
as well as, several other ships, most of them going.
All right. When we get back to shore, I thank the man and say, so when someone asks you who you took out to sea today, as I drop another gold coin into his hand, you are going to tell them.
I had my fish for company.
Oh, it's a good answer. Have a good day, Mancy.
And you too, Flounder.
And I go inland for a little bit just to lose sight of him, and then I want to walk back toward. I want to go find a rowdy spot. Rowdy-ish.
Yeah. Did you
spot.
ever give him your name
I did not.
last night? Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay, we'll go with that. A rowdy spot, huh? It's
rowdy
still like morning. There's not much. I mean, there's bustling. There's people loading ships, but they're mostly hungover sailors who.
I'll take a hungover sailor then. I walk up to somebody that looks like they know stuff about the ocean and the sea, like a sailor that's doing something, and I go, "Hey, I saw one of them mongrel men guys dumping shit the other day. Do they always dump in the same spots?"
I don't know. I'd assume so.
Yeah.
Not really my business.
All right, whatever. I kind of shrug it off and walk down the street a little bit. I'll go another, 30, 40 feet or whatever. Come up to another sailor and kind of bump him and go, "Oh, hey, sorry to bother you, but I have a question. I saw one of them weird brown
Sets
hooded.
down the barrel or whatever he was moving.
I saw one of them
Some
weird
tape.
brown hooded guys leaving the castle out there, coming inland. Where the hell was he going? Does he dump his shit out here in front of us?"
I don't think it's his shit. It's the Lord's shit.
You know what I
He
mean?
picks up his barrel and starts to make them walk away.
I walk down another 40, 50, 100 feet, 200 feet, whatever. Bump into another person, be like, hey, sorry for the intrusion. I'm supposed to be. I just walk away. Nope, fuck that up. I go a couple blocks this time. Give myself a good wide breath of air. Come up to another person and be like, "Hi, I'm sorry for the intrusion. I'm a visiting
Are
dignitary."
you mostly are you mostly talking to sailors or
Sailors
anyone
or
on the street?
Mostly sailors, people that would be out on the water.
Okay,
I'm
and there's also
visiting dignitary here to inspect the city for the elves, and I had some questions. Do you have a moment to answer them?
What's a visiting dignitary doing in the outer city down by the docks?
What a
He
visiting
looks.
dignitary is doing in the outer city by the docks is making sure that this is a
He's sort of
secure
looking
city
up and
for
down.
our ambassadors when they arrive. I'm here to scout out the city ahead of time.
buddy, and he sort of walks off.
I did not think that was going to work. All right, new person.
Still you're wearing your gray rough spun. Even though your hair is braided, it's kind of salty and has lost.
Yeah,
lost
I forgot about the clothes I was wearing. All right. Okay.
dignify.
At this point, I'm just going to look for a building.
Actually, you took a
like
bath last night, so your hair is
yeah.
your hair is fine.
I want to look for a pub or something that overlooks the water, where I could like sit and look out the window towards the ocean. Place where I could sit, just and chill and hang out for a while, for like a day.
There's several at water
Couple
level.
days.
None of them really get a good view. So
There's
like
no place with like an ocean view from the building.
you can you can get an ocean view, but it's like you look out and it's like, well, there's two ships and they pretty much block my view of anything interesting. So it's like this is like sea level 10 feet above sea level down here.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
The inner city is up on a hill, and then it sort of slopes down to the outer city.
Okay, I see what you mean.
So there's taverns along the waterfront. Your sea breeze, you get a little bit of a view, but it's still sort of obscured by buildings. You're thinking that maybe in the inner city you could get up high enough to overlook, but so I'm not exactly sure what you were.
Okay.
I'm looking for a philosophical looking out of the ocean, or were you actually practically wanting to monitor?
Practical looking out at the ocean. I wanted to monitor the people that were on the boats. The Mongol that was on the boat coming into land. I wanted to see where he stopped off. I was going to try and find a spot and just camp out for a day or two looking.
Yeah.
And by the way, I take it Michelle didn't come to bed last night.
Nope, you have not seen her.
Okay. She might be a lost cause. She might be dead already. It's a shame.
Okay.
She
So
has
you're
my
standing in the
pearls.
street thinking about this, and you see another hunchbacked brown-robed figure hobbling down the street.
Oh, excellent. I walk up to one of them.
Okay.
I walk up to him. You there?
He's sort of shambling a little slower than everyone else. He sort of, he actually doesn't appear to notice that you say "you there."
I tap him on the shoulder or jar him on the shoulder. You there?
Yeah. He sort of stops and looks up at you. He's wearing sort of tattered brown robe, covering most of his face. But you see a pair of like pale yellow eyes looking up at him. One looks larger than the other.
I pull out 2 silver coins and rub them between my fingers and say, would you like to make a little bit of money?
He sticks out a hand. It has 3 fingers and a thumb. And the third finger, you notice, is sort of covered in hair and clawed, while the other 2 look like normal human fingers.
Okay.
Sort of sticks out a hideous deformed hand to take the silver.
Okay. I put 1 silver coin in his hand.
What can you do?
And I kind of motion him towards an alleyway, and I just step out of the main street. Not very
Shambles
deep in.
after you.
Who takes the trash from the castle in the bay?
He sort of shrugs.
Where do you go when you dump your trash from the castle in the bay? Where is it dumped? Where is the waste collected and put off?
By water?
Is there a particular spot or anywhere?
Pretty much anywhere.
Is this your duty
Wait.
or is this another's duty?
Me no move trash.
What do you do?
Lift things. Boxes, barrels.
And are there many of your kind? I said, and I kind of motion him further down the alleyway.
He sort of shifts after you. Many? Many and few.
I look around. I've tried to get down to the middle of the alleyway. What is on either side of the end of the alley?
It sort of curves awkwardly. I mean, you can see back out to the street
Mm-hmm.
from this one, and then it sort of curves around. The buildings are not quite. Yeah, they sort of.
But it's a street on either end.
You're you can't see what's on the other end. It sort of curves around a building.
Okay. I kind of walk further to poke around the curved section.
You had handed over the silver, right?
Just the first silver. I have the second one in my hand, and I'm still talking to him while we walk.
He continues to shift after. You notice one of his feet has a boot, and the other is sort of like it looks like a paw, like a large paw.
Disgusting little vile creatures. What's around the curve?
More buildings. You see it open up into a small street a little ways around the corner.
Okay.
So sort of at the corner, you can see both streets.
Okay. I pick whichever side looks less busy, and I move around the corner there, so we could only be seen from one side.
Yeah. So you keep walking a little bit, and the alley opens into a smaller street, but there's less traffic.
And then I take the other coin and say, "You've been a good lad," and I kind of flick it onto the ground a little bit of ways from me. And here's my plan: when he goes to pick it up, I want to backstab him.
Okay, so he bends over to grab it and exposes his back. Go ahead and make an attack of opportunity, or an attack with surprise and back attack.
25, natural 19. Critical on a couple of counts.
Double crit.
Double crit plus double damage dice for backstab.
So are you using bloodletter?
Yeah. So 3, 4, 5 times damage.
Oh, is your backstab increased?
Well, my backstab is times 3. And then if it's double crit on top of that, then it should be 5 times damage. Yeah.
He's double crit.
Oh! Look at that roll.
Yeah, that's pretty pathetic.
That's really pathetic. 8 damage.
And sort of rolls and turns to look at you.
This doesn't include any magical bonuses, by the way. Just
flying back. His hair is splotchy.
Hold on. Save versus death? Critical effects?
Scales cover the lower half of his face. Save. That's probably a fail. Yeah, that's a fail. You can roll for critical effects if you want.
Location 2. Severity 1. Never mind.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Damn it.
So he let out a blood-curdling howl.
7 initiative. Did I gain any HP from that, by the way? Because I am still slightly wounded.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I'm down by 6.
Down by 6. All right, you gain 5 HP. What is your AC?
15.
15. Okay, so he lunges at you, swinging a deformed hand, but you step out of the way. So you said 15?
15. 3 for dex, 2 for leather armor.
Okay.
Not even studded leather armor. Okay, I dodge out of the way and come in with another stab from the side for another 4 damage.
4, okay. Wait, your roll to hit was a 16?
A 16.
Where's that plus 2 from?
Melee adjust? My level?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. That is a hit and a kill.
Okay. I lay him down on the ground.
2 silver coins clang.
I pick up my silver coins. And I head back down the other direction.
The way you came in from?
Yeah. So we had got whatever corner we were around so that you couldn't be seen from the other side. I want to go to the other side.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah.
You hear hey, what's going on?
I run.
Okay. Okay. All right. You take off and run into the street.
Yeah. When I get into the street, I
There are
go down a little ways and then
reasonable
just
crowds.
I stop walking as soon as I get through the street and down like 10
Stop.
feet.
You stop walking?
Or stop running and I just continue walking normal.
Okay. Yeah. No one accosts you or anything.
Okay. Um. hmm. I'm just going to spend the rest of the day pacing up and down the shoreline, keeping an eye out for any boats potentially leaving the castle. In fact, I want to find actually, can I find a spot where I can see the castle from shore and just like camp there? If the and not like actually camp, but you know, chill there. Preferably
Yeah,
like
sure,
a
you can find a
tavern,
spot in a tavern.
a tavern or bar or
You
pub.
you look in and you poke into a tavern or two that are sort of on the shorefront, and none of them seem to have a window view of the castle.
Alright.
From the docks, you're able to sort of stand and look at the castle.
Okay. Then I'll just kind of stand and pace around the docks looking at the castle. If possible, I will pace a great distance, you know, like blocks or quarter mile or half mile or something like that, so as not to be seen loitering in one spot. And I'll spend the rest of the day doing that until like an hour before sundown.
Okay. Anything you're looking for?
I'm looking for someone coming or going from the Sallyport or any
The
spot
Sally
on
part
the
is on the
castle.
north side, so you can't even see
Yeah,
it.
but if there's any like little ships coming off of the castle or anyone,
All right. So you see maybe a half. I mean, at some point, you see a half dozen rowboats coming that direction,
really,
and eventually you don't see where. I mean, that's where they come into view. They pull up to one of the warships
Mhm.
and climb aboard.
Okay.
You, it's quite a distance away. But you catch at least some of them appear to be wearing sort of flamboyant teal clothes, suits of some kind.
Okay, makes sense.
And then, I mean, a few hours later, that warship moves, pulls away.
Okay, no,
Um,
I mean specifically, I'm looking for Mongrelman taking out trash from the castle.
not, nope. Over the
No.
time you're watching, you don't see
Okay.
any more.
I head back to Seabreeze then.
Okay.
I now know my plan. My plan is solidified more and more each day. When we get to Seabreeze, I once again ask, has my wife, Lady Michelle, been seen recently?
No, I haven't seen her in a day or two.
Interesting. Well, if you do see her, would you make a note of it? And next time you see me, let me know. I'm growing concerned over her. Ryan,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
does
Sure.
he?
I mean, yes. He's,
Yeah. Okay.
he says yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize that needed acknowledgement.
All right. And I guess I just wait in the parlor and spend the rest of my evening there, hoping she shows up, keeping an eye out for her.
Mm-hmm.
She's becoming more useful, or more needed and less available. She might have just taken my jewels and ran, or she might be dead in the gutter somewhere. Neither option pleases me.
Do you lose the experience for stealing those jewels if they disappear?
Of course not. Ridiculous.
So about an hour or two later, you notice a small gnome walk into the bar.
I watch him as he does whatever gnomes do.
He looks quite familiar. Ringing any bells?
Yes, ringing a bell. Looking for the bell that is ringing, though. No. What? No. Okay, yeah, I just continue doing my normal thing.
He doesn't appear to notice you at first, at least, and he sort of just walks in to
Okay.
get drinks.
Yeah.
He actually joins a table with a pair of dwarves, and they appear to be old friends, and they start chatting.
Okay. I ignore him.
Yeah. So for For chat that may not remember, this was the gnome who's got a jewel shop right across the street, who Neil robbed blind. There were some guards looking for you, you recall, a few days ago.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You assume that problem went away. You paid the Thieves Guild, and you assume that problem went away.
Yeah.
But
I didn't quite rob him blind. I missed his super secret treasure trove that I couldn't pick.
Yeah. Yep.
Although I did gain a level since then, so I might be able to go back.
Did you gain a level last session? You did,
Yeah,
huh?
I did.
You're now level 5?
Yeah. You were
Okay.
pretty pissed that I gained a level. I only gained a level because of that extra 10% for prime requisites.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. Okay.
So you're okay.
I just spend the
Are you
rest of the
drinking
evening
anything?
winning. Eating and drinking just normal food and whatever. Nothing special or nothing to excess. How much food, money for food and drink for the course of the day?
2 silver. After half an hour or so, the gnome then glances over to you, and you see the wheels turn in his head, and he looks to recognize you.
Okay. I continue to ignore him.
He says, "Hey, hey!" And he sort of stands up and sort of struts over to you. It's you.
Oh yes,
Points finger.
you're the gnome that I had spoken to about customizing some jewelry.
You robbed me. You cased my shop, and then you robbed me.
Excuse me?
Okay, so he is sort of strutting over to you, pointing an accusing finger.
Gnome, you had best put away that finger before I take it from your hand. No man accuses me of stealing without evidence.
Sort of narrows his eyes at you.
What proof do you have of this wild and ridiculous claim?
I'm willing to bet the proof's in your pocket, or in your room.
You point that finger at me one more time, I will take it from you.
So the pair of dwarves have sort of approached from behind. Yeah. They look short and stout, as dwarves are, and somewhat menacing. They haven't said anything yet. Don't you dare threaten me.
You're the one throwing around wild accusations. I am simply defending my name and my honor. If this were my homeland, I would be allowed to challenge you to Quith Qatar, and you would be dead already.
Is that actually a reference to something?
No, I'm making this up.
Okay. I'll be back with the guards.
Please do. I would love to have them arrest you for this slanderous activity of yours.
Okay. He storms out, followed by the 2 dwarves.
In a huff, I walk back up to my bedroom and immediately put all of my valuables in the lockbox that I have and lock it with the locking key.
Okay. You don't wait, hold on a sec. You don't have a lock and key for your lockbox?
I put it in the
lockbox that you picked, remember?
Yeah.
You would have to pick again to open.
No, I had a key. I had a locking key. Did I get rid of my locking key?
Oh, you have a lock and key.
Yeah.
You don't have a box.
Oh, I have a... Okay, I've got the lockbox.
You've got a small metal lockbox that you had to pick open.
Right.
And then it's separate, just like a padlock and key that you stole from a chest. Right. Or no, you bought for something. I don't know.
I don't remember. Okay, I load up all my valuables into my backpack. And then go back down to the common room and hang out again. And let me know if this guy shows up with some guards.
Okay. He doesn't show up that evening.
Okay. And neither does Michelle?
Nope.
Okay. As you know, the evening goes on, I become more and more convinced that Michelle's not going to show up. I go
Yeah.
up to the.
I would say you overhear someone telling a friend a story about a brave silver-haired elven warrior that slew a Dobar Chew out to the east.
I nod. Yes, yes, this did happen.
No mention of the name Qualmir.
That's fine.
And from the story, it sounds nothing like. Doesn't sound at all like how it went down.
Probably not.
That's
Stories are never true.
Silver hair flowing in the wind, elven longsword,
Right.
slaying this creature in glorious combat, not circle strafing and throwing knives.
Right. Right. So I go up to the bartender and go, well, just between you and me, and this will stay between us men, even if we are not of the same race. I hope. Kind of wait for an approving nod.
No, I'm not an elf.
Anyway, my wife has been missing for some time. Not really missing. She went out with some friends, and I just expected her back in the city sooner than this. But considering that she's gone, perhaps you could point a man in a place where he could enjoy the company of some fine young women who may not be his wife.
He leans in and he says, "Well, I did see her leave with a large box."
Yes, she was traveling for a little ways, going out of town.
Well, what sort of women are you looking? What's your price range?
The color of my money is yellow.
Well, brothels are easy to come by out and around here.
I frown when he says the word brothel.
If you're looking for something a little higher class, the inner city is where the
Do you have a
establishments are.
Do you have a name that would work for me? A name of location?
My buddy runs an establishment called the Purple Peacock. Within the inner city.
I swear I've used the name Purple Peacock before for a tavern.
And us DMs are fond of alliteration.
We love the alliteration. I thank him and say, might they still be open at this hour?
Of course.
Tally ho, and I walk out.
Okay.
I immediately make way for the Purple Peacock.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Having arrived at the Purple Peacock, I ask for Michelle.
Do you change into your nicer clothes?
Oh yes, I do.
Probably shouldn't have reminded you that. I probably should have forced you to role play an awkward encounter with some guards at the gate who see you in your rags and
you absolutely should have and
beat you bloody.
Okay, I change my nice clothes and head over there.
Okay.
Head to the Purple Peacock, walk inside, and say, "Hi, I am."
Yeah, so it takes you a few minutes to find the establishment. You wander around the inner city. It is a little better organized. The blocks are a little straighter. Do you ask someone for directions, or do you?
Yeah, I have no qualms asking for directions to the Purple Peacock.
Yeah, someone strutting around. I mean, they pause and. Oh yes, just turn that corner.
Okay.
100 feet. You can't miss the sign.
Okay. Arriving at the Purple Palace.
On the sign, it's got a lady with a dress, and her the bottom of the dress curls up into the little eyelets of the peacock feathers.
Nice. Arriving, I want to find the proprietor.
Yeah. So there's okay. I mean, so you walk in, and it's a plush, very purple parlor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all the upholstery is purple and frilly and a little outdated. You find it slightly distasteful, but
that's fine.
Okay.
I find the proprietor and I ask, I'm looking for a rather specific type of lady, if you know what I mean. And then I go through the process of describing Michelle as much as possible. Be like, about yay tall, this color hair, you know, I prefer them with
Okay.
boobs between this size and this size. I do my best to like narrow it
Okay.
down without being
So
too
you're
specific.
having this conversation
Hmm.
while you hear a twang of harp strings, and pretty much right on cue, you look to the stage and you see Michelle
And I go,
beginning to set up on the stage.
my young man, I have found my muse.
He sort of looks over to her and he says, I couldn't have described her better myself.
Is she new here?
Yeah, she showed up a couple of days ago. She's been making me money. Voice of an angel.
Uh-huh. I stare for a
So
moment and say,
she starts into a song. Yeah.
I say to the gentleman, how much for
On,
a moment of her time after she's done with her songs?
you sort of have to shout over. Okay. Yeah. You actually roll for me a willpower check.
Oh, fuck you. A willpower check?
I mean, yeah. Go for it.
8.
Yeah. Nothing magical, but I'm gonna rule you are transfixed by the music and you're too distracted to
Okay.
continue the conversation.
Okay.
So she plays a somewhat familiar haunting melody with on her harp with a sort of a soaring counter melody in a language that you don't quite recognize aside from the time you've heard her chanted last. And you and pretty much the entire establishment falls silent.
Okay.
And yeah,
Sounds like she just used a
Sorrowful
priest
scene.
spell in trance. It's a second level spell.
I didn't want to give you. No, it didn't. It wasn't magical.
I know.
I was
making
more
jokes.
forcing you to. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm making dumb jokes. Leave me be.
No, it's this. The spell that got Balrog killed. It's not.
It's not in trance?
Something.
Oh no,
that's not what it's
orate
called.
or something like that. Or
There's something that like forces people to listen to you.
how'd that get Balrog killed?
It didn't directly get him killed, but he had it
Oh.
memorized when he went into battle instead of a more useful spell.
Yeah,
The cure moderate that he would have needed to stop his bleeding.
to survive.
Okay. So, anyways, the song comes to an end. And the barkeep is actually, even he was still standing right next to you, but as soon as you started playing, he just sort of looked and focused for about 4.5 minutes,
Okay.
and then looks back to you.
How much for a moment of her time?
Oh, she's not one of my working girls.
No, I would like to have her play for me privately.
That I can arrange. Is 4 gold for half an hour. He says.
Done. I slide him 4 gold and say, point me to the room and bring her in when she is ready.
She'll be here for another hour or so. At least the set.
Well, I would like
begins
to.
Plucking a more upbeat tune.
Okay.
It sounds quite familiar, and she sings an Elvish ditty. That
She
you
sings an
recognize.
Elvish ditty.
An Elvish ditty.
She's got this like hauntingly beautiful song that entrances the entire bar, and then she goes to like an Elvish ditty, like.
It's sort of like, oh, I don't know, beautiful, sorrowful song, and sort of the bottom drops out of the room.
Okay.
And she brings everyone back in with a more, I don't know if ditty is the right word for it. The elves play ditties.
Elves don't play ditties. Elves do.
Uplifting elven folk song.
There we go. I tell the men, well, to be honest, I am weary and not fond of crowds. I would appreciate being having a room as soon as possible, even if I must wait for her for some time.
Sure, another gold, and you can hang out there for an hour.
Done.
Roll a perception check.
27.
Ooh. Okay, so by the door, you notice three armed warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Do they look like
one
bodyguards?
in the middle,
or
two of them
patrons?
do. The one in the middle up front is wearing plate.
Mm-hmm.
On his enameled in his sort of bronze-colored plate is the sigil of House Seagate. But he looks to be a young man, flowing blonde hair, long sort of to side, and behind him are two men in ring mail, also with swords, who appear to be bodyguards. And he is watching Michelle quite intensely.
Okay.
All right. So you slip the man 1 gold or 5 gold?
Well, I give him 4 for the room, and then 1
So you
for
pay all
extra.
upfront.
Yeah. I do all 5 up front.
Yeah. Yep. So he sort of gestures down the hall.
Okay, I go wait in the room, and I guess.
And
And then I wait.
so yeah, it's a small, private, fleshy room.
Then I
Okay.
wait.
All right. 15 minutes later, a serving girl pops in to see if you want anything to drink.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay. Another 45 minutes pass. You hear sound like the set ends. You hear a loud round of applause.
Mm-hmm.
A few more minutes pass. A few more minutes pass, and Michelle hasn't shown up yet.
I'm getting a little tired of waiting, but I'll wait another 10 minutes.
Okay. Another 5 minutes later, the proprietor walks in and
Mhm.
says, "I'm terribly sorry, sir. Mika is otherwise occupied this evening.
Excuse me, I paid.
I will refund you in full. I'm so sorry. And
What is the
free
meaning of
drinks
this?
for the rest of the night?"
What is the meaning of this?
He hands you 5 gold, or he pulls out 5 gold.
I take it back and I say, who has absconded with my singer?
The prince, he says. I could not turn him away.
Oh, of course you cannot turn the prince away, but you must at least tell me that. The prince himself has requested her?
I just told you, sir.
Yeah, you were hesitant to, I grumble. Are they still here? Do I have a chance to see her perhaps later, or has he taken her to the castle?
They are here.
Well,
If you wait, maybe she will be done shortly.
maybe not.
Or maybe she will be done.
I grumble and walk out of the establishment and head back to Seabreeze and go to bed. Perfect, she's
Roll a
alive and she's
perception
doing
check.
her job.
Roll a perception check.
12.
Okay, yep. You walk out of there, don't notice anything else.
Excellent. So I know she's alive, and she's using a different name. I assume she's doing her. For the time being, I'm going to assume that she's working on our plans that we had discussed and I had proposed, even though I have no evidence of this whatsoever.
Go ahead and assume.
I will assume this for the time being. I may keep tabs on her from time to time, though. Okay, well, when we get to Seabreeze, I pass the fuck out, and at dawn, I want to go back and walk the planks again, looking towards the castle to see if I can see any mongrels taking out some trash.
You go there at dawn.
Oh, I go there as soon as I get up.
And you try to wake up earlier. I mean, you wait.
I try and wake up at dawn.
You wake up a little after sunrise.
That's fine.
Like, shit.
Okay.
You rush down to the docks.
Yeah, I double time it. I want to.
And you do actually catch a rowboat, sort of right about there, pulling up along shore.
Oh, excellent. I want to follow. I'm going to try and run along the shore with it and meet it where it docks or where it lets.
Okay. Roll a intelligence check.
20. Oh, so close.
You sort of lose. You're trying to like match its trajectory and figure out where it's landing after it drops out of vision.
Hmm.
And you sort of pop out into like on one of the docks where you think it would have been, and you don't see any sign of it.
All right, I go out into the water and stick my head out and look around.
You do see it sort of pulled up onto some rocks, like right about here.
How far away from me is it?
It's maybe like 200 feet up the shore, but it's like you can't exactly get there from here. You'd have to go back, go up a street, down an alley maybe, and then it's no longer like the nice waterfront. It's just sort of rough rocks, and he looks like he's dumping out some buckets or something.
Okay. You say, how far did you say? 200 feet from me?
Yeah.
Okay. I will sprint as fast as possible to get to him. Like, if I have to double back and go through some whatever it takes, I will sprint.
Yeah,
as quickly
roll
as
another
possible.
intelligence check.
32, natural 20.
Okay. The roads are twisty and buildings seem to be in the way, but you're able to navigate properly, get down the right alley, and you sort of run down to the end of the alley, and you're sort of at a top of sort of a rocky shoreline. And you see this brown-robed figure dumping what looks to be probably chamber pots just onto the rocks into the ocean.
Disgusting.
There does appear to be like old trashy pier,
Okay.
but not necessarily as big as you would have expected.
Okay. I yell out, "Ho there, mongrel! Mongrel, ho!"
He creature sort of looks up.
I wave him over towards me. How far am I from him now?
You're maybe 50 feet. It looked up. You catch a glimpse of some like sickly yellow-brown skin. And he goes back down to what he's doing and continues dumping his buckets.
I call again, "Mongrel! Mongrel, come here!"
What clothes are you wearing?
I'm wearing my nice clothes still.
All right, he dumps out the bucket he was working on and then shambles up a few rocks.
Sit,
He's still about 25 feet away. He says, "What is it?"
How often do you dump here? Every day?
Is it
Twice a day? Once a day?
gesture? Morning.
Morning. Every morning?
Mhm. Many.
Excellent. Okay. Well, is it always here, this spot? I said, is it always here, this spot?
No. Sometimes other.
Use this spot from now on, I say. And I toss him a gold coin.
Roll the hit.
RD20 plus 4. 16.
Yeah, he's able to catch it. Doesn't go flying into a pile of shit or anything.
Nice.
Okay.
Um,
He looks quickly shoves it into his pocket and scampers back down to
okay.
his work.
Yeah. Excellent. Now I need some clothes like theirs. I should have stolen them from the guy that I had killed. I didn't think that far ahead. Okay. I want to walk around looking for another tailor's shop. Oh, wait, before I go, I take a quick... I look at this guy up and down. I want to roughly approximate his height when he's stooped over?
I mean, stooped. He's just over. I don't. I mean, maybe just over 5 feet. You're guessing
Okay.
You're guessing he's fairly large though, and burly. But stooped,
Does he
doesn't
have
fit.
a? It's just him in his burly, his brown cloak and stuff, and cowl.
Huh?
He has no other clothing. He's just wearing a brown cloak and cowl.
It's like a brown robe. It's kind of tattered,
Brown robe.
patched in places.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of a cloak of rags.
Okay.
It's not necessarily the same as the other guys, though.
Right, but it's still a brown robe.
I mean, you guessing it's more brown from the dirt, and there are patches of other colors.
Okay. I want to walk around the shoreline, looking at peasants and beggars and anyone else that might. I want to look for a person that has clothes similar to this guy. I want
You
to.
don't necessarily see. I mean, there's same colors. There's other people that are dirty. Other
I'm
people
just
with
looking for
patches.
dirty, patched brown robes. It doesn't have to be identical, just similar.
You don't find anyone wearing a robe, at least at first glance.
Okay. I'll spend the rest of the day doing this, actually. Looking for that. Looking for someone that has dirty brown clothes.
There's dirty brown clothes, no
Dirty
robes.
brown robes, no robes.
How about you spend the whole day doing this?
Spend the whole day doing this.
You stop for lunch or anything?
Yeah, sure, I'll stop for lunch.
Okay, shell out a couple copper.
Still haven't found anyone?
A little after lunch, you spot another brown robed figure. limping
Hooded,
down the street.
cowled, all that stuff. Okay. I approach him and I say, "Hey there, mongrel."
Once again, he doesn't actually respond at first.
Okay.
They don't appear to be used to being
Addressed.
addressed. Yeah.
I come closer and I actually tap him on the shoulder. Mongrel, I do say.
What? This one, cowl falls back a bit, and he's sort of an upturned, pig-like nose, one nostril bigger than the other,
How would you like some nicer clothing?
snaggletooth. Mm,
I
clothes?
Clothes. I dump out my common clothes onto the ground and say, "Here, take these. Put them on instead of the dirty things you're wearing."
Sort of looks down at them, and looks up at you, sort of confused.
Put them on instead of the clothes that you're wearing. I usher him towards an
He
alleyway.
takes a step back. And sort of staring at you.
I'm wearing my nice clothes. I say, "Hey, now, you wouldn't want to upset the lord of the town."
These my clothes. And he sort of gestures to his robe.
I know, and now you're going to wear something a little bit nicer.
The wheels don't appear to be turning very fast.
Put them on. I gesture. I kind of usher towards an alleyway, and
You're in the middle of the street. You people sort of shoot you glances. You realize you raised your voice a little more than you
I put my
expected.
hand on his shoulder, grab up the clothes off the floor, and like start walking to the alleyway and kind of like tug on him a little bit to bring him in with me.
A few people are sort of shooting you sideways glances.
Um,
He follows you into the alley.
okay. Fuck! I keep fucking this up. I keep botching this. Not being specific enough in what my actions. I kind of how he's like my height. I'm 5 feet tall, so
He's quite a bit bigger and burlier than you.
right.
But his head is at your level with
Okay.
with his hunch.
I say, now, don't distress. Where did you get these clothes?
The masters, but me still.
Very good. This is what I need you to do. Tomorrow at morning, I need you to come back to this very spot. Can you remember the spot? I need you to come back here and bring me some more clothes like the ones you have.
Hmm.
Need you to bring me an extra set.
This is my only clothes.
Borrow some. Steal some. Bring a friend that has an extra set. I will give you shiny gold in exchange, and I pull out a couple of gold coins and just show them to him.
Um,
And then I quickly put them away.
he shoots out a hand quickly to snatch the gold from your hand.
Opposed X checks?
Ooh. No.
No.
But he doesn't quite snatch it. You close your hands before, but his hand was much quicker than you would have anticipated.
I go, no. Tomorrow, you bring clothes, I give you coins.
Clothes. Yes, clothes.
Just like what
Sort of
you're wearing.
looking you up and down.
Exactly like what you're wearing.
Sort of nodding. Give me just a second. Okay. Okay. So you told him the next day.
hmm
Okay. Do I have your most recent character sheet?
Probably not. What do you need to know?
Um.
Max HP is 20, saves are 12, 12, 11, 15, 13, AC is 15, 16 if I'm using a missile weapon and someone's attacking me with a missile weapon. I have 10,249 experience, times 3 damage, plus 2 to hit melee, plus 4 to hit missile adjust. Proficiencies are dart, missile weapon style, dagger. Non-weapons are reading, writing, tumbling, tightrope walking, appraisal, mountaineering. My thief skills are pickpockets 25, open locks 90, find and remove traps 50, move silently 80, hide in shadows 20, detect noise 20, climb walls 60, read languages 0. My backstab's at times 3 damage. My languages are Elven, Common, Dwarven. I have 16 hotness and 8 grub skill. I can give you my...
I'm sure informative for chat.
Not what you're looking for?
Yeah.
Well, I have like a physical paper that I keep everything up to date on, so no digital copy.
Okay. All right. He says, yes, tomorrow. Clothes for gold.
Clothes for gold. Excellent. Good boy.
And he sort of turns and starts staggering off.
Okay. I leave the alleyway.
Yeah.
Or as I walk out towards the alleyway, I look for anyone that's looking at me.
There are... no one's looking directly at you now. You go to put your gold back in your coin purse, and you notice your coin purse is not there.
The fuck? I look at the mongrelman who's walking away. Does he have my purse?
Roll a perception check.
28?
Okay. You don't... you can't get a good enough view. He's sort of disappeared into a crowd.
I chase after
but
him.
You do catch sight of him.
I chase after him. And if I can catch up to him, I want to like approach him from behind and like glance on either side to see if he's got it.
Yeah, and so there's sort of a busy street, but it does look like he has your coin purse in his hand.
I shove him
Shambling
in the
off
middle
down
of the
street.
street, and I say, "Thief!"
Hold on. Okay, so let's roll initiative. You're still a little ways from him, and there's people in between you and him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give him a shove. It's 5 initiative, and yell
Okay, you go
thief.
first. So you can move your way through the crowd and give him a shove. So roll the hit.
Well, it's a little bit past our time for break, so why don't
Okay.
we end on a
Yeah.
cliffhanger? And we'll see you soon.
Long Roman confrontation after this.
Dun dun dun. See you guys soon.